Welcome to the 11th episode of WTV. I'm Danilo. In this episode, Grace investigates the labor disputes happening all around Omaha. But first, Aaron meets an interesting teacher at the Westside Career Center.
All right, turn to your note sheet from yesterday.
The Ambassador Fellowship is given to 12 teachers around the country that are able to travel to different schools and bring back their knowledge to help academics grow. Aaron Bradenkamp received the fellowship by going through a rigorous process, then a follow-up interview in Washington, D.C. He is a math teacher at the Westside Career Center, but he takes all that he learns from other schools when he travels and tries to enhance Westside's teaching strategies.
We travel all over the United States. I've probably seen about half of the U.S. already in the 6 months that I've been doing the program. And I've been in about every type of educational environment you can have, so elementary, high school, rural, urban, charter, and we try to make sure that we get a better understanding of what's happening in the classrooms, what their conflicts are, what their struggles are, as well as the successes they have.
This process not only helps the teachers stay involved, but it helps how the students learn.
I like how Mr. B teaches. He helps you out if you need it, like one-on-one, things like that. So like really helpful, down to earth.
Mr. B is the best teacher ever. His teaching style has never really changed. He's always been that laid back, more comfortable kind of teacher. And he's straightforward too. He doesn't take anything from nobody.
The work these teachers have put in has had a large impact on the learning environment throughout the entire country.
Across the United States, the same process is happening with very passionate educators who are not only helping their students learn, but also changing the way students learn and changing education in America.
For WTV, this has been Aaron.
And so I ended up just shaking, laying in bed. I couldn't get to sleep. I ended up being pulling an all-nighter pretty much.
MDMA, or Molly, is a popular party drug that has been circulating through Omaha for about 10 years. Susan Schlegel, prevention counselor, has noticed an increase in the drug's popularity.
Especially last year, we had so many young people walking around going, oh, Molly, 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 and thinking it was so pure and the best ecstasy, and really it's not.
Side effects kick in 30 minutes to 1 hour after ingestion. Dehydration and teeth grinding are common.
To release of your serotonin and your dopamine levels in your brain. So then afterwards, and after the effects are worn off 3 to 5 hours down the road, then you'll have kind of trash. They used to call it Suicide Tuesdays because people who would take it lots of times on the weekend, more than one night, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, would then have such a drop in their dopamine and serotonin levels on Tuesday.
Our interviewee, who wants to remain anonymous, says that teens don't know what they're getting into when they take the drug.
I thought it would just be like any other hangover or something like that.
Which Schlegel says is attributed to by the way MDMA is made.
There's never been pure Molly here in Omaha. It's always cut with other things. You don't know what you're getting. It's usually cut with some forms of methamphetamines, amphetamines, cocaine, sometimes caffeine.
Schlegel wants kids to make better decisions before they even decide to take their first hit.
Everything is confidential. I do not chart who comes in and sees me. If I do chart anything, it's locked. I don't report things to administration unless it was an issue of safety, homicidal, suicidal, or if someone was dealing here on the campus.
For additional help, contact the National Alcohol and Substance Abuse Hotline. For WTV, this has been Dilnoza and Danilo.
Around the metro area, protesters have been seen outside of various Omaha businesses. Their "Shame On" signs have drawn the attention of many passing by. The specific labor union protesting Cherryberry and other places in Omaha is saying that these businesses hired workers not in a union and underpaid them. Legal representative for Raising Cane's, Chad Richter, explains why labor unions do this.
Back in 1935, unions served a great purpose to try to exploit inappropriate employer practices, sub-minimum wages, low benefits. Seeing more publicity about labor unions because they're really at a dire strait right now to survive. They're at the lowest point in our history of membership status, and because of that, they're out there like this doing shame on businesses, trying to get support, trying to show their worth in society. And in my mind, their worth has dwindled significantly.
WTV could not get into direct contact with the labor union, claiming to be the North Central States Regional Council of Carpenters.
Labor union like this will go out and publicize that this organization is hiring companies that pay substandard wages. And that's kind of the focus, it looks to me like, with Cherryberry, to get publicity in the community and then also try to get some support in this organization from employees to organize.
It's been more than a month since the protesters started, and it doesn't look like they will be stopping anytime soon. For WTV, this has been Grace.
Honor societies around America recognize high school students for consistent good grades and for showing leadership around their school. Westside is the home of 5 honor society chapters, including math, Spanish, French, German, and all-around academics. Nancy Mitchell, head of the Honor Society chapter at Westside, says students are chosen for induction based on more than just your GPA.
Our requirements are that a student, a junior or a senior, has to have a mark point average of a 6.4. They also have to have completed or at least be up to date on their service learning requirement. All of their competencies must be done, the future plan must be done, so basically everything on target for graduation. An activities leadership form that sponsors of those different activities have to sort of rate students according to their level of involvement.
Some students excel more in individual classes, adding diversity and more room for students to be inducted into an honor society. Casey Celine, president of the Westside National Honor Society chapter, says being president has been a positive experience.
Well, I think it's really good to be like a part of a community that is dedicated toward like scholarship and leadership, and so I've gained a lot of different like skills and like teamwork building skills and communication skills and leadership skills just from participating.
With the spring induction ceremonies approaching soon, many students will be anticipating their acceptance. For WTV, this has been Nika.
Thanks, Nika. Next, Anna shows us what it takes to be an athlete that will play in college. Also, Emily and Alex see if the budget cuts will be affecting Westside athletics.
For the upcoming year, Westside plans to cut $5 million from their budget. With budget cuts, decisions come on what can stay and what has to go. Athletic Director Tom Kirkman says how the budget cuts affect the sports department.
When I meet with the coaches, I kind of talk about what they can and what they maybe cannot get. But our coaches here at the high school have been really good about doing some fundraising to try to get some extra stuff. But what they're trying to do is kind of plan out every 5 years to maybe get new uniforms to try to see if they can last a little bit longer than what they could before in the past.
With budget cuts, each decision is crucial when deciding on what to spend money on. This year, a net is being put up in between the baseball field and the tennis courts to keep flyaway baseballs restricted into one area. Varsity tennis coach Kim Gradaville explains why the net is necessary to have.
Well, it should definitely decrease the amount of foul balls that come over. And the thing about that, number one, it is a safety hazard if they were to hit somebody or hit the court. And it's also, even if they don't hit anybody, it's a distraction. It's something that would always be on somebody's mind. So I think it would help our players to be definitely just focused on the match, not worrying about a baseball coming over.
Not only does the net affect the tennis players, but it also helps out the baseball department, says varsity baseball coach Bob Greco.
The biggest effect on us is we won't hurt anybody. It's awesome to get that out there. I know it's an expensive fix, but the alternative is it could be a disaster if someone got hit the right way with a ball, and there's been a lot of close calls, so it's kind of nice to get that up there.
Although this net will keep people safe, its almost $150,000 price tag is a big investment, especially with the recent budget cuts. Kirkman explains how the athletic department decides what to spend their money on.
It's really the necessities of the sport, and so a lot of times it's really, is it something that's going to benefit the team, or is it something that can maybe wait for a year? If it's like new helmets, I mean, I have to get new helmets. If it's a new net for volleyball, I have to get a new net for volleyball. And so you just have to hopefully budget and hopefully have that kind of money so you can kind of take account for that.
Kirkman says there will be no major budget cuts in the sports department next year. For WTV, this has been Emily and Alex.
Signing a letter of intent for college athletics isn't all just fame and glory. In return, these athletes are expected to work hard to prepare for their next year's season. Seniors Harrison Jordan, playing football for Nebraska, Amelia Jensen, playing volleyball for Hamlin, and Elise O'Dell, playing soccer for Midland, explain how they are training for it.
Nebraska sent me a weightlifting program that I'm following and doing all the lifts they want me to do. Working on my speed and That's the main concern I have. I think I have enough strength right now. So.
Well, for club, we have to do a workout before or after every practice. So it's like a lot of abs and a lot of like lifting and squatting, and then we also, like, after club starts slowing down, I'll start doing workouts for my college team. Like, they'll give me a set workout that I have to do.
I'm in high school season right now, so I'm just trying to focus on that. Afterwards, I'm gonna play with my club team, which prepares me for that, because we're gonna go to regionals, which is one of the biggest competition in the whole nation.
These athletes are anticipating changes for their college sport.
I just think the level of competition, it's going to be a lot faster, and the players I'm going against are going to be a lot faster and better, so I'm just going to prepare myself and get faster and stronger. And
I think it'll just be like a bigger time commitment and like a physical commitment, because you're constantly practicing. You're practicing like 2 times a day, like going in there every day and working super hard.
They also have to prepare mentally for their sport.
Every game, I think, like every practice, every game, just push yourself as hard as you can, never give up, and just like never have a die attitude.
Right now it's like more about like learning how to improve yourself and how to get better in order to get that spot next year.
These are just a few of the many athletes from Westside who are furthering their athletic talents into college. Their hard work will now only help them better themselves for next year's competition. For WTV, this has been Anna.
Coming back from an upset at state last season, the boys varsity soccer players are looking to take this year's title. This is Elise Odell's 4th year on the team.
I really want to win state my senior year, because last year we got really close, and I think this year is our year to do it. We got a ton of players who are real good.
As team captain of the girls varsity soccer team, Molly Naveau expects great things for this season.
We'll be really good this year, and I think we can do well, make it to state, and hopefully win. We have 3 new freshmen, and they've all shown that they're really good and fit in well with the team.
Even with bad weather during the first few weeks, tryouts and practices still went on. Varsity golfer Tom Stegman has set high hopes for him and his team this season.
I'm just looking forward for it to be a good year, have some fun, and do well, and hopefully I place top 10 in a few tournaments, and the team does well too.
The interest in girls and boys track has risen dramatically. Varsity girls track coach John Preister talks about his expectations for this season.
This year I think we're going to have a pretty good squad. It's going to be, I think, a little bit better than we've had in the last couple years. Our expectation, like every year, is to win a district championship, and I think these girls are right on course to do that.
Returning as a senior on the boys track and field throwing team, Josh Payne expects to lead his team to a successful season.
I've been doing this for 4 years, and a lot of the smaller kids, they do look up to me when it comes to throwing. They ask me questions and whatnot, so I'm just here to help them and help myself get better.
Another sport that has exceptional amount of interest this year is the girls' tennis team. Senior Kate Schlossberg has high hopes that her team will win state for a 2nd year in a row.
Knowing that people want to beat us this year because we won last year will kind of keep us motivated to work hard and try to win again this year. There's 2 freshmen, Lizzie Harwood and then Phoebe Plachek. Like throughout the couple times we've been able to play, they're both pretty good, so they'll definitely help us out, like when it comes to state and things like that.
Freshman Mitchell Hagan talks about what he thinks will be challenging this season on the varsity baseball team.
Just playing older kids, they have more like experience, so I think that'd be hard to overcome. I think we'll be a top contender to win state this year. It's been a long off season.
With competition heating up at the end of this month, Westside sports have a good chance of ending the school year on a positive note. For WTV, this has been Maddie and Rachel.
Thanks, Maddie and Rachel. Next, Riley tells us about a big show happening in Omaha.
The world of fashion is not a place for everyone. High school is where many discover themselves and their own style.
You have patterns, you make your own things, and even though you're following directions a lot of times, you're also kind of doing what you choose. Even if you are building from a pattern, you're picking your own fabrics, it's your own design.
You don't know if you're going to mess up or not, or if the size wasn't big enough for you to begin with.
Seeing all the stuff that people make, it's just amazing, that somebody made this.
Westside's Fashion Club gives students an outlet to express themselves through clothing.
I like clothes, and it's expensive to buy stuff, so I thought, why not make something?
I'm really into expressing myself through clothing because that is a huge part of me.
Not only do students design and create, but some also wear what they make.
I made this dress for prom.
So this is the dress that I'm working on right now. We'll have black paneling on the sides, and then the same fabric will be on the back of it as well.
This dress is completely my own. I bought it at a thrift store. It looked like something that came out of an 80s horror movie. And I took off the top to reveal the pleats, cut a diamond in the back, made the straps myself, and laced it up.
This is the prom dress that I'm making. It's a corset top and it's strapless, and it's a high-low. And this fabric is actually from my great-grandmother.
I wear a lot of the stuff I make. I make a lot of t-shirts and I like to wear them. I've made a couple jackets and I'll wear them like every once in a while.
Well, this is my prom dress. It is sleeveless, so it has no sleeves, but it has straps.
With the Excellence in Design show approaching in May, students have begun to create the pieces they will showcase.
For the design show, you actually just put your pieces up individually. I like to pair them up if I can to make an outfit.
I'll probably put like everything that I've done, hopefully if I can find it all past 4 years. So that's what I was planning on doing.
Some students pursue fashion as a future career.
The Fashion Institute of Technology, it's the #1 rated school for fashion in the U.S. And I applied to it, and I found out yesterday that I got accepted to it. So I can't wait to go to New York City and be in the heart of the fashion capital of the U.S. and learn fashion.
Even outside of the club, Westside students are a part of fashion in Omaha.
I got into this because my pageant coach recommended me for it. I had done pageants recently, and she recommended that it would be fun to do modeling for Omaha Fashion Week too.
Omaha is no New York when it comes to fashion, but students at Westside find their way into the industry. For WTV, this has been Riley.
What was the last lie you told?
The last lie I told was...
The last lie I told was when yesterday someone asked me if I'd ever eaten at Red Lobster, and I said no, but I have.
No, I don't like...
I remember the last time I told a lie. Actually, that was the last lie I just told.
The last lie I told?
No, I did not set Jack's phone case on fire.
I told my mom I'd be home at 11 and I was home at 11:06.
Oh, told my English teacher I was going to the bathroom. Went to get something off the printer.
What I bought on my credit card.
So my mom to get some cash.
I lied about my track workout. I didn't do 20 push-ups.
I told my dad I was going to tennis last night. I wasn't going to tennis.
The last lie I told is that I told my mom that I brushed my hair in the mornings.
Ali is the best player ever known to mankind.
I had breakfast this morning and I said that it was good.
For WTV, this has been Emily and Joe.
Thanks for watching. Catch us on the next episode of WTV.